Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is a case of Fisher versus Meyer.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Miss Fisher, you say you thought you found the perfect older man to start a relationship and family with, but after having your first child and getting pregnant again, you claim he abandoned you and denied he fathered your second child, Xavier. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Meyer, you contend Miss Fisher was a serial cheater who had numerous liaisons with different men during your relationship. You say you and the plaintiff were not even together when she conceived her child, and there is absolutely no way you are Xavier's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Miss Fisher, you say Mr. Meyer abandoned you and your kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Explain.
After having our first son together, we lived together for about 3 years. We found out that after the new year, we were gonna have a second son. Him knowing that, he decided he didn't want anything to do with me. I ended up living with another family member, just to better our lives. We were doing a switch off, back and forth, watching our son together, and after that, we got into a lot of disagreements, just arguing a lot. Turned into him not coming around at all.
And so, Mr. Meyer, Xavier's 9 months old. You say you haven't done anything because Xavier's not your child?
No, Your Honor, that is not my child.
Explain your position to the court.
We were not together when she got pregnant with Xavier. She's cheated on me multiple times. I came home, I found my mattress flipped over. I came home, I found multiple people in my bedroom.
I want to be clear, too. You all were in a relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say this is your second child, right, Miss Fisher?
Yes.
So you have an older child?
Yes, I have a 3-year-old son who is almost 4 years old this year. Named him after Michael. So he is a junior.
She wouldn't even name him Junior. She named him the second.
Well, my son is the second. That's the same thing.
I wanted to be Junior. She wouldn't let me.
Okay,
I think she knew it wasn't my son. That's why she wouldn't do it.
So she gave him the second?
So she named him the second instead. Yes, Your Honor.
So now you doubt your older son, too?
Yes, I don't believe he's mine, Your Honor.
If he thought for some reason that one of these children were not his after 3 years of having the first one, would you not take a DNA test from initial?
I asked you how many times about a DNA test? How many times did I ask you?
I don't know, Mike, you tell me.
I thought Michael was mine.
Hold on. I want to understand this. You all were in a relationship living together during the window of time when Xavier was conceived?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer, when you found out Miss Fisher was pregnant, did you believe instantly this wasn't your child?
I had serious doubts this kid was my child right when she told me.
So take me back to the day she told you she was pregnant. What happened?
Well, she explained to me and told me she was pregnant. At the time before that, we were kind of on and off. We were fighting constantly. I don't think we were really together at that time. I know she was with other guys. I really didn't think the kid was mine at all. There was a chance the kid was mine. The dates didn't add up when she told me. She constantly changed her due dates. Like, nothing made sense. It added up.
And so, Miss Fisher, when you got pregnant, you told him you were pregnant. Why? Because you thought, this is great. We're having our second baby?
Your Honor, yes. I was excited to find out a couple days after the new year of 2016 that I was going to be having another child. We had a house. We both were working at the time. Everything was okay. One night, I find him crying in bed and ask him what's wrong. He asks me, to not be around him anymore. But I'm trying to figure out why, because we're having another child. We already have one. He was not around for any of the doctor's appointments for the second child, so he would not know a due date in the first place.
I wasn't around because the kid's not mine.
Second of all...
You tricked me once, you ain't gonna trick me again.
Second of all, you couldn't...
Okay, listen. I'm trying to understand the issue as it relates to Xavier. You're saying you tell him you're pregnant, and his response is, I don't want anything to do with the child.
Yes.
Why is that your response? What information do you have which leads you to believe she was even sleeping with somebody else?
What proof, Mike?
As I said, all right, my neighbor told me some guys crawled out the window. Who was that? Who crawled out the window?
I would like to know myself.
Oh, well, you were there, obviously. I mean, the thing that neighbor made it up.
Wait a minute, your neighbor told you someone was crawling?
My neighbor said, hey, is your house broken into? I'm like, I don't know, I can go check and think. Why would my house be broken? He said, I seen somebody crawling out of your window. I said, really? So I go run to my house. Nothing's gone or nothing like that. I can only assume it was a guy she was messing around with. No one took nothing.
Was there anyone crawling out the window, Miss Fisher?
I definitely object to that, considering the neighbor that we have is an older woman. Our houses are connected evenly. You cannot see any windows from the viewpoint of the neighbor 2 houses down.
What else?
Let me tell you about the biggest fight we've ever had. This will be something, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm having a bad day. I'm working at the time. We were working at the same place. I had to work a double. I was sick and not feeling good. I finally get off work. I call her. She's picking me up. I didn't have a car at the time. I wasn't driving. I'm calling and calling and calling. She doesn't answer the phone. I'm upset. I start walking. She comes to pick me up. She's clearly had sex with somebody.
Clearly?
Yes, visibly. She had something in her hair. It was not gel and it was not shampoo.
Okay. You believe there were bodily fluids in her
Yes.
hair?
For use of better words, yes.
I mean, we haven't heard that testimony before. Is that true, Miss Fisher?
No, Your Honor. This self-made bum standing next to me
Bum?
is given every excuse not to take care of any of his children.
I don't want to skip over this story because the real
Along
truth is
with-
this is a story this is what his doubt is based on. Were you with someone
She admitted
else?
she cheated on me that night. She was so messed up and partying all night. I'm guessing she didn't understand or remember that.
This night is a
Probably
part
more
of
than
his
one guy.
imagination. I'm frustrated, I'm overworked, I'm tired.
The night in question.
That night never happened to where he asked me those
And,
questions.
and there never
I
was
never
an
picked him up.
instance when your hair was all over the
Don't
place.
make me tell the rest
No.
of the story.
So Xavier's been here for 9 months. You say you've been doing this on your own. He's not helping at all.
Absolutely.
Explain that to the court.
He didn't want to show up to the birth for Xavier. He didn't want to sign the
I'm not
birth
gonna go.
certificate, which forced me to give my second son my last name after his first son has his last name.
Find his real father.
1 month later, I show up to his doorstep after I honked outside, come outside, take the baby out of the car. I physically make this man hold his own child for the first time, thinking that hopefully he would feel some sort of guilt in his heart and know that this is his child when he looks at him in his eyes. He refuses to see that. So standing there holding our baby, he cries, asking, I would just rather you not come around anymore.
I didn't want to take the baby. You know, this kid's not mine. I don't want to see him or hold him. You know, she's trying to pass me off, so I take the kid. You can clearly see the kid. It doesn't look
But
nothing
she
like
said
me.
you started crying.
I was sad about seeing the other son, Michael. I mean, even though the kid's not mine, I miss the kid to death. She wants to make me sound like I'm some low-life bum. I took care of that kid better than any person in the world. I was a good dad to Michael for the whole, 2.5, 3 years I was there for
So
him.
wait.
Your Honor,
You're saying you were really upset. It wasn't over not being there for Xavier when he was born.
Oh,
Not
I know Xavier's
participating.
not my.
So you are 100% positive Xavier's not your child.
Yes.
Your Honor, he used to do a lot for his first son. Now
Lot.
he does nothing for his children.
Because I found out that my first son wasn't mine. I mean, you know how that feels? That's some dirty
His
stuff there, really.
reason of belief is strictly because my second son has blue eyes and lighter hair.
We're both Mexican, yeah. The kid's got blue eyes. He's white. He's clearly lighter. Look, them kids don't have the same
My
dad.
grandmother
Any amount
has
of money
red
says them
hair
kids don't have the same dad.
and blue eyes.
Good luck finding them dad.
Listen. We in this courtroom, children come in all colors, all shapes, sizes. Listen, if we could base paternity on that, this courtroom wouldn't be needed. I want to understand, Mr. Meyer, did you hear anything else that would make you feel like this child could potentially be someone else's biological child?
Oh, yeah, I have even started saying about the stuff I've heard from multiple people.
What did you hear?
Oh, everybody said that. First, it started off as, are you sure those kids are yours? Like, they didn't want to really tell me up front in the truth that the kids are mine. Then it's like, I don't think them kids are yours, and multiple people tell me this.
So multiple people would come up to you and say, I really don't think those kids are yours.
I had a random person come up to me. I'm in the park with Michael. We're playing. Some random lady comes up to me and says, I know, Serena, that's not your son. I was shocked. I didn't know how to respond to that. I mean, like, how would you respond if somebody comes up to you and says, that's not your son, random
Why
out of
would
the
they
blue?
come up to you and say that?
I have no idea to this day. She was out of town for the week. I don't know.
Do you know who this woman is, Miss Fisher?
No, Your Honor, because I have never left that house, not only for one day, but not especially for a week. So I know for a fact.
Not true at all. You claim she was at her mom's or wherever. I was taking care of Michael. What do you mean you never left for a week?
My mother lives in Cincinnati. The time of me living in that house for 3.5 years, she visited us 3 times total. One being the birth of Michael and 2 other visits.
Well, who knows what guy she was with for a week then, but I was taking care of your son that I thought was mine.
But what is going on here, though? I really want to understand this because it's like you're in a relationship, you're living together, And there's so much mistrust.
I didn't intend to be in a relationship with her from the very beginning. I didn't want a relationship with her. I clearly told her when we first met I didn't want a relationship with her.
So wait a minute, you tell her you don't want a relationship, but you end up in one.
Yes.
All right, and then you have one child, and that child's named after you, and you
We had a child, yes.
continue sleeping with her, then potentially have another child. You are in a relationship.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out, did you decide to date a young woman and now you just don't trust her because you're just feeling like she hasn't had a chance to live or to date and that she's out doing things that, young people do? What is it about what she's doing?
She's a compulsive liar. She lies about everything. She's
You believe
extremely
she's lying?
shady. Oh, yeah.
And what type of lies have you caught her in?
I couldn't count how many lies I've caught her in. I mean, wow.
What does she lie about?
What she's doing, where she's at, all kinds of things. I mean.
As in, he is referring to when I leave to go to my grandmother's house for a couple hours to visit. I'm not allowed to do that without him.
I don't care.
To my father's.
Do you believe he's
store.
just
Not
being
true at all.
possessive, Miss Fisher?
Absolutely, because I was young, naive. I am tired of doing this on my own. I want help. I need help. I put him on child support specifically so that when he would decide eventually one day to get employed after a year and a half so that he can weasel his way out of not paying, I'm gonna have it set aside because being 32 years old, I, in the back of my head, believe that you will not stay unemployed the rest of your life. And if you are, that goes hand in hand with self-made bum, as I referred to earlier.
And so because he is not on Xavier's birth certificate,
I got my own house.
These results really do matter
Yes.
because you want him to support and be responsible for supporting Xavier as well.
Because it takes two to tango, Your Honor, yes.
Yeah, and you tango too much, so find his father.
And so I just want to be clear, Ms. Fisher, is it your contention that you've never cheated on Mr. Meyer throughout this relationship?
That is exactly what I'm telling you.
Wow.
Eye to eye, Your Honor. And you will not
lies so much
catch
you got
me in
used
a
to it.
lie because there's no way around the truth.
That's the truth.
And even during the time when you all were off, when you were broken up, you weren't sleeping with anybody else during that time?
Your Honor, we were not
Look at her face.
broken up in between the times of when we had gotten in a relationship up until I was 21 years old.
Not true at all, Your Honor.
You say that's not true?
No. There was days we'd break up for a couple days here, there, a week here. There was multiple times we broke up.
And did she get missing then? Or did you feel like she was sleeping with someone else during those times?
Oh, she probably was, but at the point we broke up, it didn't matter to me. I mean, if you don't want to be with me, you go do what you want to do. That's fine,
And he may be in reference to a time where I stayed with my grandmother during Christmas, and I had to stay with her for a couple of days because he was getting verbally vulgar with me a little too much, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I needed time to myself. And I took my first son with me to go stay with my grandmother.
So, Mr. Meyer, if you are Xavier's biological father, are you willing to step up to the plate?
Oh, absolutely. I know there's no chance that I'm his father, but if I was, yeah, I would take care of him, of course.
You are convinced you are not this
I
child's
know this.
biological
I know I'm
father.
not his father. Yes, Your Honor.
The sad part, Your Honor, is that he has convinced himself that these kids aren't him in denial of fear of dealing with reality. He will not put up with the responsibility of taking care of any of his seeds.
All right, well, in light of all of this, I think it's time for the results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Fisher versus Meyer, when it comes to 9-month-old Xavier Fisher, in the case of Fisher versus Meyer, when it comes to 9-month-old Xavier Fisher, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Meyer, you are the father.
No way.
Do you have anything you would like to say to your son?
just feel terrible right now. And I will be taking care of him.
Would it be okay if he saw Xavier in my chambers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Meyer, would you like to hold your son?
Yes, please.
I will meet you in my chambers. Court is adjourned. I want to alleviate another level of your doubt. My staff also tested Michael, and I just want you to know that he is also your biological child. Okay? Would you like to see both of your beautiful boys?
Yes.
All right. Hey, fellas. Hey.
It's okay. Hi.
How does that feel, Mr. Meyer?
Well, it feels good. I mean, knowing he's mine, sorry for being away from you, little guy, and I'll always be around you now.
Michael, you know who this is next to me? You know who that is? It's your dad.
Dad, remember I used to pick you up every day when you was little? You lived with me. We were always together.
I know this is upsetting for you now, but we are starting, and this is a place we're gonna grow from, okay?